Hello, and welcome to Real, the unedited life of a Christian woman. I'm Haley, your host, and I am happy to be back with you. Today, I wanted to talk about something that has been on my mind most recently, and that is consistency, self discipline, and consistency. I don't know about you, but I tend to struggle with this. It is always an issue with me, self discipline. And I guess to an extent, it probably is with most people. It's why we have a hard time living a healthy lifestyle. It's why we have a hard time reading our Bibles like we should. It's why we have a hard time reaching goals that we would like to reach because it's really hard to hold ourselves accountable day to day on what our goals are, what we want to do with life. And it's also part of the reason that I haven't been able to record this podcast weekly. Because why? Life happens. Over the past few years, I have tried really, really, really hard to buckle down, to related to several aspects of my life, related to my health, my wellness, my nutrition, my work life balance, my just a lot of different areas of life. I bought a planner last year. It is like, I think it's called the Legendary Life Planner. I got it off Amazon. It was like $30 maybe, but I've had several different planners throughout the years. Okay. I have always been a planner kind of girl. I love planners. I love planning. I mean, honestly, I am a planner. My problem falls in the execution. And that's part of the reason we're here today. But I love planners. I love the stickers. I love the colors. I love the highlighters. I love the different colored pens. I love just planning things. Like I could plan all day long. Like I should have done that as something as a career, I guess, because I'm really good at planning. I struggle in the execution, unfortunately. But I'm trying my best to become better at that. And I'm trying to structure my day around a plan, and that's something that I can keep up with. So, I'll do good for a few days, for a few weeks even, and then life happens, right? So you have something that happens. Someone has surgery. Something big happens in your life. Not even something that big, like you end up staying out too late one night, and so it throws off your next day. And then you just you lose focus of whatever it is that you have been doing well on, that discipline, that plan throughout your day, and everything seems to go awry, and it's really hard to get back on track. So, my mind has been on this lately because I know that if I could stick to my plan, my life would completely change. I know this. If I could get up every morning at 5 a.m., do what I say I'm going to do, stick to my plan throughout the day, do what I say I'm going to do when I get off work, go to bed when I say I'm going to go to bed, and do the best I can daily, my life would change completely. Why is it that we can't stick to a plan? I mean, ultimately, the answer is that we're human, right? So things happen, life happens, we get off track, we lose sight of our goal, we lose motivation, we don't see things happening quick enough, we don't see changes quick enough, and so therefore we quit. And that's part of the reason 75% of podcasts fail because people quit beyond episode 2, episode 3, and it's hard to keep up with that schedule. When you don't see the numbers that you want to see, when you don't see money coming in, when you don't see those sorts of things, you quit. The truth is to make money at anything, as far as opening your own business, as far as social media, as far as a podcast, as far as any of those things, any self employment aspect, is that it takes a lot of hard work, a lot of time behind the scenes, and a lot of self discipline to get those things off the ground. And that's what people don't see. When I was younger, I mean, I have tried so many different things, you guys. You would not believe. My family calls it my wave, and thankfully I've not had as many of those lately. But seriously, when I was younger, I thought I'm going to be rich. I'm going to be rich, like I'm going to do Mary Kay, or I'm going to do, one of these direct sales things, and I'm going to build a team, and I'm going to I was fine. Like I would buy into the plan. I would get my little kit. I would buy all the things I needed. I would spend $1,000 or whatever on whatever I needed to get started. But I didn't want to do the work it took to make that successful. I thought people were going to come to me. I thought that, if I had it, I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to put myself out there to get, the customers. And boy, was I wrong. And I think I've always said about myself that I have to go through an experience before I learn it. And that's unfortunate for me because I have to experience something to learn the lesson before I have the wisdom to do better. And so I have had decades of at least 2 decades of learning behind me in realizing that you have to put yourself out there. You have to be vulnerable. You have to be real with others. You have to be honest. And sometimes that can be embarrassing. Sometimes that can be, sometimes you wonder, you second guess, you triple guess, you quadruple guess yourself in that, should I share that? Should I, you know, X number of things. And there are certain things that shouldn't be shared. I will say that. And this podcast, The Unedited Life of a Christian Woman. I have shared things about my kids in the past and they hate it. And so I'm like, you know what? We're not doing that anymore. They don't like it. So there are certain things that I'm like, no, I'm not going to share that. But for things about me that are mine to share, I put myself out there a lot of times. And do I feel like other people will judge that, will snicker behind the scenes, yes, I do feel like that. In fact, I pretty much know that putting that out there, that there are going to be people that think it is, I don't know, funny, embarrassing, or whatever to put some of this stuff out there, you guys. But the truth is that we all go through a lot of the same things in this life. We all have the same struggles. The Bible says that there is no temptation that has overtaken you, that God, won't provide a way of escape. So we all struggle with things, okay? And I think it's important that we realize that our struggles are unique to us, but other people have similar struggles, right? So, everybody's not going to be comfortable like me talking about their life online, and that's fine. And people are going to laugh at me for that, and that's fine. But I want to help other women be able to realize that you're not alone, okay? As a minister's wife, I'm a minister's wife. I've been the wife of a youth minister, the wife of a minister. He has had multiple roles in the church. And I just want people to realize that we're all human, right? Like, I'm not perfect. I will probably say something on here that I regret that I shouldn't say. And you know what? That is life. And I will probably at some point have to apologize for something I say on here. And I just want everybody to know that I'm no different than you are. I am human, okay? And I've kind of gotten off topic, but it's just such a passion of mine for people to understand that it's okay to be vulnerable with each other, that we're all human, and that it's okay. It's okay. All right. So moving on back to the main topic of consistency and self-discipline. I am going to start something and I'm the world's worst at starting and not finishing something. Like I will start a million things and then just let them drop because I don't see results because I've started posting on social media like day 1, day 2, day 3 of posting until my podcast reaches 1,000 downloads per episode. Well, you know what? It's been several days since I posted that. I think I got to day 6 or 7 and I haven't done it since. Well, life happened and I haven't been able to do it. And that's okay. But you know what? I'm not going to quit. I'm going to keep doing it. And it may not be every day, but it's going to get there, okay? We're going to get there. I'm not quitting this, you guys. I'm not. And but anyway, back to my original point of I really want to have a better handle on my personal self-discipline and priorities. So what does that look like? For me, that looks like keeping my priorities in order. Part of the whole Charlie Kirk thing for me was I have a lot of respect for Charlie Kirk, and everybody has differing opinions, but that man was not scared to stand up for his faith. He wasn't. And I think we should all be the same way. But what part of that made me realize is that, I've always tried to keep my priorities in order. God first, others second, self last. God first, family, then others, those sorts of things. And there are times in my life where I've gotten those upside down or I have mixed those priorities up. But in my life, I've always tried to keep those priorities straight. So for me, what I want to do on a daily basis is keep those priorities in order. And I don't always do a great job of it. So I would love to get to a spot where I can make a habit of getting up early in the morning, studying my Bible and praying, figuring out my day, doing what needs to be done with side hustles, working my full time job, and at the end of that day, working in whatever needs to be done and getting to a point where where I am I have a daily routine down. I'm just so bad at keeping all of those things in order. And I don't know if it's because life is just life and, we have all of these extra responsibilities. We have a lot of things outside of just being home. And I do think I'm too hard on myself, but I want to get to a spot where, I am 43 years old. Perimenopause is here. And there are a lot of things that I need to do to take care of myself. I have seen from a healthcare standpoint women who don't exercise, don't eat well, and in this at this point in their life, and they're going to go downhill a whole lot faster than somebody that's taking care of themselves. And so I feel like I'm at this point in my life where I'm going to have to do this, okay? So consistency, self-discipline is going to be my focus. There are a lot of things that I'm going to do. I am, however, going to prioritize bedtime. I feel like if I don't get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep, I'm like not a nice person. And so there are nights that will be like that. But overall, I feel like 7 to 8 hours of sleep is extremely important to me. And from a health standpoint, it needs to be prioritized. So, am I doing too much? Yes. When you listen to this, you're going to be like, Haley, you need to slow down. Like, this is not healthy. And I'm going to say, I understand. I know, but I'm going to try to do it anyway. That's just me. I don't know why. I'm just like motivated to do more, be more. It's just who I am. I just can't I'm just so like driven, I guess. Like I feel like I have to achieve that next thing. It's just like an innate thing in me. I don't know why I drive myself insane a lot of times, but I just have to do it. So I'm going to try my best to start getting up early, getting ready for my day, taking care of me, keeping my priorities in order while also, part of this side hustle for me, like Real with Haley. And I mean, I've not made any money off of this, you guys. This is just me doing something that I'm passionate about, and that, I mean, honestly, I've spent a whole lot more money than I've made on this. It's more like a hobby and a side hustle. I mean, maybe eventually at some point it'll make some money, but I just really like, you know, I love broadcasting. I want to use my talents to serve the Lord, and I feel like this is something that I can do that with. So here I am. What's interesting is I have had a couple people reach out to me on email about like being a guest on my podcast, which is strange because that's new. Um, that is new to me. And none of them have been interesting enough for me to be like, yeah, I want to do that. I'm not even sure I know how to do that, to be honest with you. But at some point, maybe we can start like having a guest on here. Wouldn't that be different? Um, so anyway, I don't know. But I really, really, really do want to be at a point in my life. I don't want to always be this busy. I really don't. I think consistency is really important. I think discipline is really important, but I also think it's very, very difficult. And I think as if we as humans could master self-discipline, we would be unstoppable because that is one of the hardest things to do. So, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but that's kinda how I feel about it. My plan, and you guys can hold me to this, it's not gonna be perfect. I'm not gonna always do it, but you know what I wanna do? I wanna do a glow up at age 43. Go ahead, laugh. It's okay. It's okay. I know, like, if my sister listens to this or my daughter listens to this, they're gonna laugh. It's okay. A glow up at age 43. So, like, I have braces now, so that's fun. Um, I just right now at this point in my life, like, I need to exercise more. I need to lose about 10 pounds. No, I'm not. I've gained about 15. Okay. I know. If you see me, you're like, Haley, you don't need to lose weight. I get it. But it's just me. Like, it's me is where I'm happy. So, I want to lose about 10 pounds that I have gained while on Paxil and in perimenopause. Um, I'd like to get some debt paid off so that we can set ourselves up well for retirement at some point. Though I don't ever want to stop this podcast. I know I'm rambling a lot today. I apologize. But it helps me to get this out there with you guys. Um, so yeah, so I want to be able to get up early, read the Bible, pray. I want to be able to keep my priorities in order. I want to be able to so what I do as a side hustle is I get so much money per visit when I complete tasks with this company. And so it's a good way to have extra money to pay off debt. So the more visits I complete in a day, the more money I can make to pay off debt. And so I usually will set a goal for myself daily is how many I want to complete. And sometimes that's easier than others. So I'm doing that as well. And then I would also like to grow this podcast. But I also have a full time job, right? So I see patients on the daily every 15 minutes. I work 32 hours on platform and then I have 8 hours of admin time that I do as well. So that's like it's a full time job basically. I'm a minister's wife. We have functions with that, church and those sorts of things. But I want to be sure that I make time for exercise. I want to make sure I get the right supplements, nutritionally, what I'm putting in. And you add on top of that like meal planning for a family and vacations and birthdays and Christmas and Thanksgiving. Y'all, it's a lot. It's no wonder women are crazy. We have way too much going on. But you know what? I know it's a season of life. I know that I won't look back on it and be like, I wish I hadn't done that because, even if something is hard now, doesn't mean it always will be. Okay. Consistency is important. Self discipline is important, but it is so hard. So I want to accomplish these things while keeping my priorities in order. So follow on social media. I'm going to document this. Um, I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, I'm on YouTube, and I'm on Facebook. I'm probably most active on TikTok. Um, so subscribe to the podcast. You can subscribe to YouTube, follow on Instagram, on TikTok, and um, on Facebook, but I'm probably most active on TikTok. And I'm also going to be doing TikTok Shop. I'm going to try to post one video daily of TikTok Shop. There are people that have made so much money off TikTok Shop, you guys, like crazy amounts of money. So I'm just going to start looking for things around the house that I already have that I can make a video on TikTok Shop. There are certain requirements you have to meet to get into TikTok Shop, but I've met those requirements on there. I have like, I don't know, close to 2,300 followers, I think, which really isn't that much, but, um, follow me on there, and I'm gonna start posting 1 TikTok Shop product per day on there. I'm just gonna do stuff around the house that I already have because if it's something I already have, I can sell it, or I can try to. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. You get better with stuff the more you do it. So, we're gonna add that in there and see what happens. I'm gonna try not to, I tend to, stress myself out over stuff, and I'm gonna try not to do that, but I'm gonna add that in there, and then, we're just going to see where this goes. And I'm going to pray about it and I'm going to try to be self disciplined. And I just don't want to get to a point in my life where I'm like 55, 60, 65, whatever years old, and my body is breaking down and my mind is breaking down and I don't have retirement. I mean, regardless, guys, God's gonna take care of you. He's got you. He's not gonna let us go hungry. He's not gonna let us he provides the flowers of the field what they need. Will he not provide for you is what it tells us in the Bible. And so I fully believe that, but I also believe that the Lord does not like debt and that I have too much of it and that I need to get it paid off. So I'm gonna do the best that I can to do that. And anyway, that's pretty much all I have for you today. It's been about 20 minutes of me rambling, and I just wanted to get on here and actually do a podcast because it had been so long. So, thank you for listening, and I'm going to try my best to do this again next week. You all have a good day.